Hello everyone, how are we doing? Got some Siren 2 fans here already. I'm excited. I just the other day finished writing up another way too long video essay script, and I just spent the morning recording it, um, which took me longer than I thought I was going to. I was hoping I was going to have like 3 hours to stream or something like that, but instead, turns out I've only got like 90 minutes left before I got to run and do some errands, do some important stuff, rather than just reflect on video games all day as I like to do. Um, but it'll still be fun. I'm still looking forward to playing a wee bit, and then next next week I'll be around to play a solid sort of 2 or 3 hours of it again. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to sort of building up to the video essay over the course of the month. We're not going to get anywhere near finishing this game because this is a long, brutal game. There's a lot to it. It's not as brutal as the first one, but I'm excited. I'm excited to show it off. So, without further ado, we'll get stuck in. Hopefully, no technical issues. Yeah, really looking forward to it. Here we go. So, how many people have played Forbidden Siren 2s? We got many people out there. Is this going to be people's first experience with the game? It's a curious one because it didn't release in America or Canada or any of the NTSC territories officially. It was just a PAL Asia release. You want to have a favorite brain region? It's for a college project. Amygdala's pretty cool. I know nothing about this or the other game. Awesome. So this will be the first experience then. That's what we'd like to see. Yeah, it's pretty sad really how it didn't make it to the states. It's a tremendous game. It's really clever. Um, have watched a lot of playthroughs of it. Have you played it yourself? There's a lot to it. I really like it. Hence why I spent so long thinking about it and trying to hopefully make a good video on it. A lot of really clever stuff that it does. What I should have done though, I just realized I forgot to change it to Japanese voices. So I'll do that after this cutscene.
Is that right? So, shall we go treasure hunting tomorrow?
Yeah. I wish Kanai could play outside with us too.
Good night, Shu.
Night.
Yeah, unlike the first game, which could only be at least in other territories, could only be played in English with people with British accents for some reason. At least this one can be played with Japanese voices. I would like to play through the original Forbidden Siren at some point on stream as well, even if just to show off some of the voice acting in that game was really really sterling stuff. I'm so used to playing this in Japanese, like on my PS2, that I just assume it's still in Japanese. So that was totally my mistake.
Daddy? Daddy? Night?
All Japanese people don't have British accents. Apparently not. Only yeah. So we've got start in the first person perspective, um, in the shoes of a little kid, it's an interesting choice to start the game in first person like this, um, because most of the game is played from a third person perspective. Generally prefer the first game, but yeah, the fact you can have English subtitles and Japanese audio makes such a difference. It really does. Adds to the level of immersion rather than having to put up with some some truly inspired acting decisions. I never get old of um, Yoriko Ano in the first game, the student whining to the professor Timon, and he just turns to her and says, "Please shut up." Yeah, it's perfect stuff. But we've already got here like a really nice use of shadow and darkness um, and perspective. The fact we're playing is from a kid's perspective always. I think adds something to the feeling of a space. And of course, this being a horror game, nothing is really going to go very well for us. And then, yeah, we sort of finish that thought in a second. Yeah, so we've got this horribly tragic scene, and then we sort of lurch to this, um, this timetable. It says mission completed. There's this really interesting fusion of sort of gameplay elements and other sort of filmic choices coupled with other things. Yeah, job well done, mission accomplished. It's just a set of really unique choices. There's no horror game that really feels like this one does, or like the series does.
Thanks for helping me out. Yeah, well,
It's such a novelty, the English voices.
I see.
Got a dog, which is always important. I love the slow build up of the groaning there. Hey Mauricio, how's it going? Good to have you here. And what I like about Forbidden Siren as a narrative is it throws you straight into it. Obviously, it's told in a mostly non-linear fashion. This is your favorite horror game? That's awesome. It's one of my favorites as well. I suspect some days it probably does become my favorite. I'll just save over this one I made before just to test the game was working. So you can see this game already has a much better tutorial. Um, it actually tells you what everything means, and it also gives you access to the link navigator, which is this right off the bat, rather than having to play through in a series of missions. And yeah, I would also like to be paid that amount of money just to sort of go, whoa. I wonder how many takes that took, what I should do. Actually, return to the top menu. We're going to change the voices. Over here, Japanese, and the subtitles are on, right? Yes. Cool. We'll see what difference that makes. Maybe we'll decide to turn it back anyway in a minute. But I do think it's more immersive this way. Okay. Wish it was released here. I feel like it would have caused the American audience to go back and reanalyze the first one. The first one, yeah, is so good. But I do understand why people really didn't appreciate it. I think the level of difficulty, right, was just way too much for some people. But this game really tones it down. Yeah, quality of life options. This game is much more accessible. You don't need to know the story of the first one either. This is basically a standalone story. It just uses the same um, sort of narrative and gameplay frameworks and just builds upon them. And it sort of feels like the team was aiming for in the first place, in a sense, even if I still prefer the first one slightly. You have this wonderful, like, grainy effect over these cutscenes. And then the light cuts through it there, as you can see. There's great effects there. And some more fantastic groaning going on there. So each mission tends to have, or each bit of time tends to have 2 missions attached. And you can see, well, look at that, hints. The first game didn't really have those, just had them in the instruction manual. So head towards the bridge. It's telling us how to move and everything. So it was well received by critics, yeah, but I think a lot of audiences just didn't understand it. I saw this, and you can see that it really wants you to learn how to play the game. So make sure that you do everything properly in this tutorial so that you understand what's going on. Unlike the first game, which dumps you into a mission with a hostile enemy immediately, and that enemy has a gun, and that enemy will kill you really quickly if you don't know what you're doing. Which, of course, you don't know what you're doing. It's the first level. But yeah, you're right. Like, a lot of audiences just didn't seem to understand or comprehend what the first game was trying to achieve. Which, it's such a shame that this game then already had a more limited audience, and it's just a much more polished gameplay experience. Again, though, because I'm a psychopath, I prefer the first game slightly, but that might just be first encounter bias. It frightened me more because it was the first one I played. So you can see I kind of like the chiding the tutorial tells you off here. You're going the wrong way. Go up the stairs. Come on, stupid. I always did like that message. And we got that first encounter here. But at least we know how to move, And this enemy doesn't start with a gun. Which is another welcome change. I agree, Future Cityscape. There's the first game sort of falls into place seeing this game. Like, they do form a duology, right? There's something that they each sort of build off of each other. They sort of need each other in a sense, which again is a shame. So we've got this alert system. So my controller is currently vibrating in my hands here. So turn off the flashlight, duck down. When the alert stops, safe to turn the flashlight back on. Proceed further. Yep, thanks. Grab the ladder. At least, I'm grateful that they re-released the first game on PlayStation 4. That's something, I suppose. Move to the right of the ladder. Yep. Oh, press the X button to jump. Whoops. Don't jump that way. This way we get more ladder climbing action here, actually, so it's alright. Gives the atmosphere time to build up, Jump. I would have laughed if the tutorial had chided me again. Like, no, I said jump across the gap, not into the gap, stupid. Remember to put one foot in front of the other to walk. Search the area around you for a weapon. I'm joking so much about this, but like, the fact that there is a tutorial is really nice, honestly. Go to the door of the materials warehouse. Oh my goodness. This keeps ramping up. This is a really cool feature of this game. I wish more horror games had this kind of thing in them. With your weapon, you can break windows. So this is the first enemy in the game, this window. You can smash the window and then unlock the door from the other side, which I always thought was a really neat feature. More games need that in general. And here we get some of our, I don't know, first proper look at some of the facial animations. which I do talk about at length in this video that I'm making.
Kegawa.
助けて。
様子を見てくれ。ここに隠れてた。
Got this big action hero here. Cool. So
私を探してる。
the thing,
お願い、助けて。
game audio really soft. I can make it louder. Give me just a second. I do feel like I have to adjust it sometimes for each game. Let me just see. I don't know how much that's gonna help, but I've raised it slightly. I don't know. Yeah, let me know if it's still too quiet. What was I saying before I was? I think at this point we've got to find a way out. And as we go to leave, combat time. Shout to distract enemies. Right, I was talking about the contextual menu. Basically, everything in the previous game was done through the contextual menu. So you'd go up to a wall, and then you'd press triangle, and then you'd scroll through the list, and then you'd jump up, and then you'd click like climb or something, and they'd climb. Whereas in this game, it's a bit more granular or sort of situational than that, which is good. Shake off a biting enemy with rapid jerks of the left analog stick. Cool. I'm shaking it. Cool. Nice of the enemy to just wait for me to read the tutorial here. And the relatively unique thing, call your companion and escape from here. Come here. Head towards the goal. The quote-unquote goal.
ありがとう。
No problem. It's not the goal. Oh, right. The map's really cool in this game as well. I think the goal is back this way. Turn right. Would you look at the go up the stairs? Gee. Go straight. Climb the high wall in the same manner. You can see just how seriously they were taking the criticism of like this game is too hard. They really wanted to make it legitimately accessible. Quickly glance behind you. Pull back so you can do a quick turn. Companion requires help to climb high areas.
お願い、手を貸して。
Fine, I can help you.
よかった。溺れた。
Cool. Escape from the hub. Just a bit further. Don't block my way. Come on, let's go. Let's go. I would also, yeah, I'm thinking of making a video on Blood Curse as well, because I'm playing through that at the moment too. It's an interesting game. I don't like it nearly as much as 1 and 2, but
2136非常事態発生。今から私が緊急避難の指揮を取る。直ちに撤収。
Helicopter transmitter. Save it again. Alright. From the docks to the amusement park. And this game also has levels that are sort of much more action focused. As evidenced by these missions with the soldiers who all start with, or tend to start with, assault rifles.
もう死んでるぞそいつ。立て。気持ちはわかるけどな。これドラマじゃねえから。急がねえと危ねえだろ。行くぞ。
Just tremendously uncanny. It's like barely anything else I've seen. Learn the basics of combat. Nice, it took that one shot that took his head off, took his helmet off, but let him have a conversation now. The enemies are not that nice later in the game. Hint 1, shoot that dude. That's what a lot of the hints in this game boil down to. Attacking with a gun is the same as hitting with a weapon. The longer you aim, accuracy improves. So this is kind of the same as the original Silent Hill. If the light's off, your accuracy decreases and all these sort of little simulatory elements. When you're out of ammo, select reload. Cool. Oh, I'm so good at this game. Pick up the gun. So, another relief is that characters in this game can actually carry 2 weapons, unlike in the previous or the following game, which only let you carry 1. So, again, much more accessible. There's normally a weapon in every stage in this game as well, which also makes a difference. Automatically switch weapons, hold to 2 weapons, yep, cool. Now we gotta follow our lovely commanding officer around. But you really do get this, it's incredible atmosphere. The graphics are still really stellar. So you can see we can switch into a first person mode as well. As you can see, I'm hugely accurate. That's why why I play so much Counter-Strike on stream, obviously. Or whatever it is people play these days, I don't even know. Alright, I'm following you, I guess. Yeah, this is, I don't use this direct example in the video, but you'll notice that the island will change in appearance. There's a variety of things going on with time. So I'd like to think these streams as well will sort of be able to add more concrete examples, be addendums to the video itself. people can see exactly what the game does.
これを壊せ。
Some locks can be broken with weapons. Cool. I did see that actually the other day that they'd added those, which is nice. Would be nice if they made a new game as well, but I suppose this, or just re-release this one, but it too much to ask for, I suppose. But yeah, the soundtracks for all of the games are really tremendous. They do a fantastic job. As much as I don't like Silent Hill Homecoming, I do wish they'd put that soundtrack back on Spotify. Just flicking between characters and moments here. The scope of the game will sort of slowly expand as we get out of these tutorial sections.
大丈夫ここ座ってもうあいつはいないから君携帯持ってる僕のダメみたいなんだそうか参ったなとにかく朝を待つしかないか
私のお母さんこの島に閉じ込められてるの
なんだって
早く助けてあげないといけないのそれであの人助けてくれるって言ってくれたのでもあの人
ちょっと待ってどういうこと警
お願い
察には話
信じて誰も私を助けてくれないあなたしかいないの
That shot there was the one that really freaked me out when I first played it. Like, looked legitimately real. Okay, all right. So we got this character here is the most hapless character. He's had the worst life. He's a 52-year-old cop. His dream was always to become a cop. 52-year-old cop. He's been demoted. He's had a pay cut, so he's back to being a beat cop. His wife left him. His family wants nothing to do with him, and he's been shunted back to the island of his birth. I like him. I feel for him, but he has not had a good run of it, and it's not going to get any better, I'm afraid.
至急至急離島04から県警離島04
You see technology sort of turning against him.
緊急じゃすまんだろうな
See
嫌なっちゃうな
see immediately, it's like, it's probably my fault.
なあさこ
Oh, you certainly going to get your wish. Yeah, first.
面倒なことになったな
Poor Vegeta. Alright. Gonna have a look around. So you can see, like, the maps are really quite expansive actually. And what happens over the course of the game is you revisit each one, so they sort of become re-envisioned in your eyes and become sort of deeper and more complex the more you play them over and over again and experience them in different ways.
こいつ
Cool. So I think this is where the game introduces us to the concept of actually needing a torch to survive, if I remember correctly. I'm not a jerk. Just want the groans to be put to good use. You want the voice actors to be working for their pay, huh? Maybe I'm wrong. Let's have a look, see. Oh no, there we go. So you can see these enemies here. Kind of swarm you, surround you if you don't have a torch. And you don't last very long without them. Which becomes pretty important later when you're having to escort other characters. You can't leave them behind for too long, otherwise those things are going to show up. So search all areas thoroughly. So yeah, that should satisfy Yoverst's bloodlust, I think, for a little while, for about 5 minutes. We'll see how we go from here. We'll have a look around for a torch. Not even close. Oh, look at what about that? That was a pretty good grunt, right? Good jump. That's locked. Can't go in here. And I think the staircase is broken, so we can't go down here either. Back we go. We gotta watch him jump one more time. I love the jump animation. So expressive, you know. You can tell he's a pro. Yeah, the way the game uses light and darkness is really something special. Pick up. So we got the guardhouse key. And you can see as well that the game is like guiding you to the sub-objectives so that you know what to do, whereas in the previous game it would be totally up to you to figure out what to do. I think the guardhouse is down this way. So in this one at least you get like minute sense of achievement. You're like, okay, I did this one thing, that leads on to the next thing, rather than having to break up the gameplay quite as much as the other one was. No hurting the cop. All right. We're gonna keep him safe. He's had a hard enough life as it is. All right, torch. That'll make us feel better about ourselves. Here we go. I'm gonna switch back to my gun. Oh no, did he drop? He dropped the gun because he's already got the stick. Probably go back for the gun, I guess. I don't want him to drop the gun, but okay. His life is just, he's like, I don't deserve the gun. No. Oh, it feels like we got a bidding war going on in the chat now. Alright, let's pick up the gun again. The Nunbu 38 caliber revolver. And we'll go back over here. Cool. This time we should be able to get through without quite so much trouble. They'll still attack us from behind. But at least we can hurt the ones in front of us so we can actually get out of here. And escape through to the other side. Out. And you can also see that they get hurt outside in the street light as well. So there's attention to detail there with the gameplay mechanics too. Alright, he survived his first mission. Aren't we all proud of him? Back to another movie stage here. You really can see, yeah, the plot flicks back and forward all over the place.
大丈夫
ずっと寂しかった。私待ってたの。私を助けてくれる。私と一つになってくれる人。
大 誰だ。
君こそ誰？ここで何してる？
よかった。助かった。ほら。
そっちの人どうかしたの？
大丈夫。ちょっとやめてくださいよ。嫌がってるじゃないですか。おい、何なんだよあんた。いい加減にしろや。ミサオさんさん。あれ。
So it's this this tsunami that sort of fuses all the different versions of the island together. Thanks to HGA for once again logging on to play horror games, and they ended up babysitting. Yeah, that's all right. That's fun. Babysitting with horror games.
無事だったんだ。あいつらは一体何が起こってるんだ。さっきのは。
I appreciate your honesty over this here. I love that.
酒も飲んだ。なんであんた生きてんのよ。変な麻薬使いやがって。
やめろよ。こっちだ。
誰か来て。
Cool, so we're getting a lot of things to add to the archive. Reach the road to Hidaru with Yuri Kishida. So here we get our introduction to the Forbidden Siren series. Is probably the most interesting idea, and certainly the thing that still separates it from other horror games in a big way, which is sight jacking. So we can occupy an enemy's vision, which again, that's something I'm going to talk about a lot in this upcoming video essay. I think it's really important. But for now, we can just see how it works. Sight jack with L2. So we can lock this view on, and then we can keep rotating to see if we can find anywhere on or anything else. Exit sight jack with L2. Cool. Like, truly some really fascinating points raised there. I mean, I think Shapiro SpongeBob, I mean, really the message of these games is that no one can resist the red water. So as far as I'm concerned, SpongeBob's a goner, but you know, what does everyone else think? So we've got this automatic toggle in this game, which you also have in Blood Curse, which I'm not like such a fan of. I often forget to use it, but it's there nonetheless. Okay. Yeah. I forget what I want. What does it want me to do now? Just run when he's looking away. So you can see as well that this is really like a stealth game. There's a lot of waiting for enemies to react. Sight jacking can provide you with hints for getting through a situation. So you can see it's still going to click onto that one. So we've got 1600, I think, from the looks of it. He's gonna wait. I gotta lock the door first. I think it was 1600. So let him do his thing. We've got that steady pulsing there in the background where you may or may not be able to hear. Just indicating he's nearby. Is that right? Was it not 16? Was it 7? No. Looked like a different number to anyone else. He sort of only had it in front of him for a split second when I tuned in. Oh, actually... Right, I gotta back out. Doesn't automatically click on it. Go through the quote-unquote steel door. Cool. And then we need to make it to that exit up there. So we'll tune back into him. So we've got him locked onto the square button now. So I'll just make sure he's out of the way before we go running. It really is a really creepy experience playing this by yourself in the dark, just sort of waiting for the Shibito. You just hope they don't notice you. And the games remain scary even after multiple playthroughs, I think, because of this mechanic. So, got this nearby enemy coming to look for us. So I'm gonna try, hopefully sneak past. But it's very possible that they've just seen us. Yep, they've seen us too. And you notice as well, you get that quick sort of snap look at what enemy is coming for you. I think it's this door. I do like the short sight range and grungy visuals. It reminds me of the kinds of mysterious photos I mentioned on one essay on space in games. Such a small detail and something every horror game should have. It makes a huge difference, in my opinion. Totally agree. Attention to detail is always been one of the most important aspects of artistic design, which is one of the things I like about the children's show, SpongeBob SquarePants. Absolutely. So really important matters to consider. But you are right. I do think games need, or horror games often should. Like, this is the most appealing look for a horror game in my opinion. The short amount of distance you can see and the grungy visuals. I think there's a reason people have come back to this style and are using it again because they realize that this level of graphical fidelity is all you need for a good horror story. And of course, like, that's just an objective fact. I mean, we all know that, yeah. You get a lot of detail there about from the photographs there too, like the rolling of the eyes, the sort of expressions of disbelief. The actors did a really good job, and the technology holds up. I think it really does. Attention to detail makes it believable, which makes it scarier, in my opinion. Absolutely. So yeah, here's the mission thing I was talking about. So there are multiple layers to each mission. So I think, does it take us back to the... Yeah, so we've got a mission as Shu, but we can also go back and play as the cop and do his second mission. But in the interest of time, I do think it's worth playing a mission as Shu because he has a very unique mechanic. I've not seen any other game really try for something like this. So I think it's worth examining Shu's gameplay here. So he's the author with the dog, Tsukasa. and he was originally from the island, as we saw. His dad got killed that evening.
これはお前のこれはあの時のまま
He's come back to his own house. What's he gonna find?
あれは私
So this mission we got to escape, and you can see Shu's unique mechanic is that he can move while using sight jack, but Shu is blind, so we have to use sight jack to move. Unfortunately, we got our dog with us. But this isn't necessarily an easy mission. It's a really unique gameplay mechanic, and they leverage it to its full potential, really. Shin Mikami can't see very well. When you sight jack, you can use a target's view and move by pressing R3. So what we got to do is tune into the dog's vision, which is this one. And then what we can do is move around like so. And acquire the shoehorn. But what I am going to do is have a quick look around the house first. You can see it's really a unique experience to play a game, or relatively unique to play a game, not just from the second person, but from this other perspective entirely. Shu is kind of really freaking blind. Yeah, Shu Mikami can't see very well is really an understatement. Again, like this is what we see of the gameplay from his viewpoint. So technically, like, you could move in a straight line, but it's really hard to identify shapes or anything like that properly. So we just have to rely on our dog, which doesn't help, of course, when our dog like runs slightly down the stairs and we got to wait for it to turn around. So we're very vulnerable playing as Shu. And there's a later mission in the game where we have to escort Shu. Or there might be a couple of missions, come to think of it, which are the same as escorting the blind character in the first game. Which also sort of remind you of how dangerous it is. So I'm gonna tap back into, I'll disable that, and then I'm gonna go back to actual sight jack mode. So I'll map that one. Gotta map that one because he's close by, and I'll map the dog again. So we've got to reach up there. I think the way we want to go is left here. So we'll go down the left. I know, like, making a second-person horror game, I know I've seen one or two, I think, like this little indie games, try it to fascinating results. I wish I could remember the names of those games, but it would be interesting to see how far you could stretch this concept, whether it can or should be stretched any further, or whether the gameplay experience of playing like this is going to be too frustrating. So go up the path south of the fishing shack. I'm sure we can do that. Which is this path, I think. Really, I got the shoehorn, you know, I'm a formidable enemy. So, go past the T-junction. There's an enemy just up ahead here. Switch out of that mode. Yeah. This fella, I think. Or is it another? Just gonna double check. You can sort of see how, like, you want to be sure right before you move ahead, but you also don't want anyone to creep up behind you in the first place. And also the enemies here talking to themselves, so they're unlike regular zombies in that way. I can still hear someone really, really close by. Messing with cameras is absolutely fascinating. It is. Did you ever see the video of someone modifying the game to let them explore all of Iron Lung outside the submarine? No, actually. I haven't seen that, but I enjoyed it. I enjoyed Iron Lung, so I might have to track down that video. Yeah, there's a lot that still has to be explored, I think, in relation to identification and all that kind of thing in games. There's a lot there. I really am. I can still hear the heartbeat, so so when I go up this path, I think I should go now. Nope, don't go now. Oh. Run, shoe. Head toward the road. Oh, easy. Easy. I'll just run past the abstract lines. Might even be going the right way. But I think there's going to be an enemy ahead of me blocking the route. Yep. Oh. Come on. I hope my dog's keeping up with me here. Nope. Oh dear. Oh. My shoehorn isn't very good. Shockingly. The dog caught up with me. And you can see this game also has checkpoints. Many more checkpoints than the original game had too. Really revolutionary. Okay. How did I miss that guy is the question. So there's this fella. Ah, this was the guy I was supposed to be looking at. Alright, let's go. Okay. Where to from here? I think it's this one. So he's gonna walk around there. I always forget to change back to the dog's viewpoint after sidejacking. You know, yeah, a game playing with perspective like this does a lot of interesting things, and I think as well the idea of breaking out of... Oh dear. Help me. Help me, dog. Not again. Breaking out of the camera's initial bounds and exploring something new is also similarly fascinating. Gotta find somewhere to hide. I don't think this is gonna cut it though. I think I'm running up to like the shack. Is there anywhere to hide in here? No, and this guy's coming in. Yes, good dog. I think. Or is... Oh, down you go. Is that blurry shape the dog? Yes, it is. Alright. Come on. Stay down. Ah. Stop. I think I'm gonna die. Yep. Oh. You can see it's quite tricky. Okay. Where are we? Where are we now? If I say guard, I think that means that prompts the dog to go up ahead. So we'll see what the dog does here. Okay, good. Thanks, dog. You really saved my butt with that maneuver. Good job. Wish I could pat the dog, but I guess I can't do that. 0 out of 10, I'm afraid. Okay. I'm gonna check the nearest viewpoint here. So this one. Never get past a level like this. There's stress, and then there's managing like 4 viewpoints. It really is stressful. There's such a lot to consider. Okay, so that can be circle. Was this the guy I got caught by before? Or was this someone else? I think it's gotta be... Yeah. No. You didn't see anything. You see, yeah, you can see how tricky the game sort of already gets. And this is easier. This is much easier than the first game. Much easier. I'm gonna hope the dog... Cool. So we can just sort of sprint to the end there. The dog caught up with us that time. But yeah, you can see quickly how tricky everything gets. But for basically every mission that you complete, you do get another sort of story, bit of narrative. Which is good. The game's sort of constantly balancing between feeding you story and giving you new interesting gameplay scenarios. It's a really good game.
いくらなんでも非現実的すぎる。君はそう思わないのか？今僕たちが体験しているこの全てを。それにさっきの女、君の知り合いなの？
お母さんは今まで鳩を飛ばし続けたの。でもいつも鳩は戻ってこなかった。早くお母さんのところへ行かないと。
その君の母さんって人、本当にいるの？
ひどい。やっぱり私を信じてくれないの？助けてくれないの？
いや、あ。
Say one thing wrong, people just run away from you in the opposite direction. Do really love when horror games messes your vision or other senses, especially unexpectedly. It's a very effective strategy. I've been writing a horror game design document. I've been writing a horror game design document for a game I want to make one day, and I've been thinking of all the different ways that I can play with sort of my 2 favorite concepts, which is, space and time. And I would also like to play with space from sort of the manner of perspective, as you say, sort of playing with how we perceive the world. And it's been a really interesting design exercise, conceptualizing how I adjust a space in that way. I'm sort of torn at the moment between developing. I'll go back to the cop. Actually, where is he? Between developing this sort of RPG one I want to make, and then as I get deeper into the guts of both of them, I sort of realize that either of them would really be suitable for what I want to do next, creatively. So I both of them have horror elements, but one of them is a very direct horror game. I guess I'll see. I'll see what I land on to commit the next several years of my life to. But I would be excited for
至
both.
急至急離島ゼレオンから県警
So we'll see what the mission is this time. Find ferry. So if an item can't be found, find a room you've not entered yet and search it well. So
いや落ち着いて
do the same thing we did before. Antechamber might be a good inspiration for distortion of space. I have heard of Antechamber. I've watched a few gameplay videos. I really like the look of it. I do need to pick it up and try it for myself. Just gonna play the swapper. Game plays with your perception of who your character is while having spatial puzzles. That sounds really interesting. Yeah, I'd be keen to try that out for sure. Yeah, any kinds of recommendations like that I'm always interested in. So Antechamber and the Swapper. So many games like doing really interesting things that just often don't get seen. Well, I just don't have time to play. I think I've said this before, but my choice is either I write about a game or I play something new, and that's about how much time I have. I guess I've got to pick one a day, sort of thing. And it's not always an easy decision. I always like to play new stuff. That's what got me into it in the first place. But I'm also interested. I do also find it fun to analyze the games I have played. So there's this sort of tension there, I guess, which I think I've discussed that before. But I'll have to add both of those to the list. And if anyone ever has any more recommendations for anything, sort of horror related or anything interesting you think I'd enjoy or might find relevant to talk about or use for design ideas, then yeah, I'm very keen. Where haven't I gone? In here? Yes. Pick this up. A wire. So, right. You might have seen, yeah, that wee message. So, action to begin mission 2 cleared. So, quite often there'll be a thing in each level that activates, that is a requirement for another mission later on. So there's sort of a continuity of time going on in this game as well. It remembers everything you do. Let's see if I can can't really get a good look at them, but there's wee faces in the middle of each of these. And I might be wrong, but I think some of them are meant to be Kiichiro Toyama's face, who was, of course, the director of this game and the director of the original Silent Hill, which I think is a fun wee thing. This was the exit to the level. Where haven't I looked? So you can see I've done that required action for other stages. War processing. I haven't gone in here, have I? Must be something in here. Pick up. Alright, so incline control, which I think was that very initial room I tried before. Yeah. So we've got to see that jumping animation again. So what this other mission does as well is it sets us up narratively for what's going to happen to Shigeru next. So there's a sort of interesting tension between, which of the missions is real, and how are we experiencing the game, and how does that adjust our appreciation for the narrative? Because obviously it doubles the amount of gameplay time. Some might say cheaply, but I still find myself enjoying it, because it's not like the missions are long either. Well, some of them aren't anyway. They're all fairly approachable. God, he's tired out, isn't he? Unlock that. So I think what we're meant to believe is that he goes in here first and then leaves, and goes the way he was already going. But again, it's never made quite clear, I don't think. I might be missing a detail, forgetting a detail.
あれは何だ。また余計なことに頭突っ込んじまう気かよ。俺も懲りねえな。はあ
Like then you could just still hear him like breathing, exhausted from the from the gameplay. Cool. So you notice we've switched to Yuri's perspective explicitly in the menu here, which is an interesting choice. Cool. Save that again. Cool, so we've got another mission there. Probably got time for one more mission. I remember this one has been kind of tricky. Ichiko Yagura's first mission, there's a lot of Shibito, and she doesn't start with a weapon. We can try this mission at Hoya, the mining housing, but we'll see. Girl boss just stomps Shadow Monster. That's exactly what we like to see. He needs a crummy torch.
何なのここどこさっきの津波はやだどうなってんのあいつはいや何これいつもと違う
So, reach the road. So we gotta find Soji first, I think. All right. This mission has
何が起きてるわけ
a car that we can drive. Get in the car by pressing X. Thank you, Forbidden Siren 2. I want to go forward, circle to brake. Steer with the left analog stick. Driving is easy. Oh, that's fraud. That accelerates quick. She just puts her foot right down on the pedal. No hesitation whatsoever. Reach higher areas by using the car. So we got some more quality of life stuff going on there. And it's always interesting starting a section of a survival horror game without a weapon. Even if you get one not too long into the level, there's always just this really profound moment of vulnerability, which I think is heightened if you have the opportunity to get a weapon, but you just haven't found one yet. I think I prefer that than just having no weapon at all throughout the game. I like knowing that I could fail in trying to defend myself rather than be automatically killed if something touches me. I'm still, like I remember that promise I made, however, was it last year? When I said if I had 100 followers on Twitch, um, I'll stream some Outlast 2. Like, I'll do it. I won't like it, but I'll do it. Like that's a threat. Mainly to myself, but I, I'd try some. And yeah, Petscop, I do need to. I feel like this was also last year, Yavios, but you might have asked, like, prompted me, like, did I want to cover like stuff like that? And yeah, you don't hate me that much. I appreciate that. That's nice. Yeah. You might have, yeah, Yavios might have asked me about covering stuff that wasn't just video games, which I've done slightly, but I would like to do more. I just sort of need more time in the day, really, more drive, more energy, not drive. I'm doing alright motivation wise. I'll keep that there. Yeah. Yeah, what the hell are you doing in here, buddy? Leave me on a wild goose chase. I'm even looking at him here. I've got an umbrella, so like don't mess with me. Yeah, this particular level has one of the, I think, one of the hardest games, or one of the hardest, not games, one of the hardest missions in the game here. I feel like maybe was this the way I went? Yeah. Can he follow me back down this way? I hope so. Come on, buddy. Come on, you can do it. Oh no, he got scared. No, he chickened out again. This is Sojay Abe, everybody. He was accused of murder. He's currently running away from the law for a crime he did not commit. And currently, he refuses to jump on top of my car. So I guess this is just how it is. That's a shame. If I get in the car, is he gonna get in? I agree that the music for this area is.
何言ってんのよ。
俺バイクしか免許持ってねえんだよ。
何よ、私だってペーパーなんだから、免許なんてどうでもいいでしょ。
車はわかんねえんだよ。ガタガタ言ってねえで早く出せよ。
This so difficult. And was it R2 to reverse? Yeah, thanks a lot, buddy. Real helpful. Yeah, the ambience in this game really is something else. The ambience, the presentation, all just really amazing. Goodness me. Hi. Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't see you there. Excited for the stuff you cover either way. Petscop is actually a playable game at this point, even though I didn't start as one. Well, then I probably should definitely cover it at this point then, right? I think it would really be worth talking about. Alright, stay down. Was there an enemy with a gun before? I don't know if he had a gun or not. He was just like walking around back and forth here. There he is. A live Outlast torture session would be perfect for my bloodlust too. Yeah, I'm sure that would do it alright. I really, yeah. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm not super fond of that game for whatever reason. Um, just something about it. How do I get out? Here we go. All right. Some help you, buddy. Pick up the much better weapon than mine. Okay, yeah, I've still just got an umbrella, but that's all right. What's our mission? Distract the sniper guarding the sub. Right, so we do actually need to get back in the car, but at least you got a weapon now, and that guy doesn't, so that's good. That's always good. Whoa. What was honk the horn? What was honk the horn? X? I need to distract the sniper by honking the horn somewhere around here. What button was I supposed to press? Here we are, R3. See, enemies with a gun in this game, you don't really last very long up against them, so I'm hoping. I can't remember how far out he comes here, but I'd like to see if I can run him over. Maybe not. No, he doesn't. Oh, did I just run over? That guy just behind us. He's up. Oh! Eat umbrella. Get him. Oh, we're really competent. Speaking of which, maybe it would help to get more followers if you streamed on both YouTube and Twitch. There's a lot more subscribers on YouTube who might not even know you stream, so maybe that would help. I have been thinking about that. It's really funny you say that because I had a friend who watches these streams as well, and he was telling me that. Oh shit! Oh, you missed. Oh. He was telling me that that's something I should think about doing. I haven't thought about the logistics of it. Like, does that mean I'd have to keep track of two chats potentially, or do I just say, okay, everyone funnel to YouTube maybe for the chat? I'm gonna keep an eye on that. I don't know. That's really my main question. I was also gonna upgrade the actual streaming platform I was using. I'm still just using Twitch Studio, which is the most basic thing. It did the out of the box stuff, but I really should use OBS, which I've got set up. I just haven't used it yet, just because this is where all my settings are. But probably should transfer over, I guess, and see about that. What are others' thoughts on that? Because it's not an easy question for me to answer, whether I should do that. But if people are interested, um, I certainly would consider doing so, because I do know that like obviously the main audience for these is in the VODs, right? That's where most people seem to watch them or engage with them. And as we can see, this guy, his psyche is falling apart. Sure, it worked well for one person who built a following on YouTube before starting on Twitch. Affected entirely on Twitch, right? But YouTube can be unhinged without moderator. Japanese streamers I watch stream on YouTube. Right, okay. So there's something to be said for YouTube, but I definitely I don't want to like frustrate people as well, because I don't know if I can keep up with two chats and play a game effectively and analyze it and have interesting stuff to say on the fly. I don't know, but maybe with a bigger audience, maybe that stuff wouldn't matter in the first place. Maybe it would just sort of seamlessly work itself out in the moment. Yeah, it's a tricky question, but I was thinking that maybe next time over the week I could set it up and I could give it a go, sort of see how it works out, whether it increases engagement or not. The other thing I wonder, I don't know if I'll start another mission just because I should go limit our sentences to 5 words of fear if that helps. No, I won't require anyone to do that. Don't don't worry about that. But yeah, the other thing I was wondering, obviously, is like, what does the mythical algorithm like have to say about like my really weird channel? I've got so much sort of weird different stuff going on. I don't know what anyone else gets fed. Like if you subscribed to me for my video essays, say, like, would are people getting served the soundtrack videos? And people are sort of like, well, what is this? Why am I getting fed this stuff as well? And obviously, for some people who are also fans of the games in question that I've archived the soundtracks of, that's probably a good thing. But I do often wonder about this sort of fusion. I might have even talked about it before on stream a little bit, but I do sort of wonder more about it more and more as I make more stuff. I don't want to lose that sort of archival side of the channel, but I do wonder what it does um, to the perception. Get so many Siren lore videos after watching your hauntology videos. I go into a deep dive. That's good. I like that it feeds the beast in some way, that it's tapping into stuff that's already there in a sense, that I'm plugging into that discourse directly. But yeah, I don't know. I guess maybe you guys aren't necessarily the ones to ask, since you do engage with the stuff that isn't just the soundtrack stuff. But it is, yeah, an interesting question. I only seem to get clips of Bachelor quotes of Pathologic 2 and Ragnarok's reviews. That's also like yeah, good stuff to be connected to my videos. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, I don't know. I guess the YouTube algorithm works in mysterious ways, right? I'll figure something out over the course of the week regarding YouTube streaming. It was good of you to remind me to do that. Actually, Evia, it's really funny that I'd had that discussion earlier in the week. The other thing I was wondering about, just before I leave, just so I can fish for some more feedback, was whether I had a bit of a waiting period at the start of this. It was only like 4 or 5 minutes, but I presume people prefer that rather than me just sort of jumping in. I know it like cuts into the amount of time I'm actually playing the game and analyzing stuff, but I presume people prefer to sort of get here and then I start talking, because it's not like people sort of lunge straight for their computers right when the notification comes through. Drop everything they're doing, plates smash on the floor. Um, I presume that's not what's going on every time I go live. So I presume people would prefer that amount of time, like 5-7 minutes at the most, say, before I actually start playing the game in question. Just for next time. And if anyone has any more, general thoughts or feedback, you can let me know at some other time too. I do really appreciate the feedback and stuff. Also, um, it's always very helpful. And yeah, to anyone who's listening, who isn't subscribed to Patreon, not wink wink nudge nudge. I often do sort of extra chats and messages there. If you did want to get in touch with me personally, that's where you do it. But yeah, I'm sort of going to have to wind up anticlimactically there. I hope this was entertaining. I'm gonna be back next week. We're gonna play some more. I'm gonna try and get this video out the door as quickly as I can. I would really like release something new, something big. And yeah, I'm really excited. I think the year I've had to think about sort of the legacy of the last video is is one that I'm still sort of thinking about. So this one goes some way towards redeeming it. Not that it necessarily needs redemption, um, but there are things I wish I'd done better, I guess, and I think I've done that in this new video. So yeah, I'm really excited. I hope you guys enjoy it. So I will see everyone next week. Thank you for showing up. Great to see everyone. And yeah, hopefully see you all again soon. Have a good week.